everybody, welcome you back to the session. So in today's session we will see what is localization testing and also what is ad hoc testing. So actually when the software is approaching the release date, what you do is messages are consolidated into a separate file and it is sent to the multilingual experts for the translation. So a set of building tool consolidates all the messages and other resources such as your GUI screens and pictures automatically and put them into the separate files. So what happens in Microsoft terminology, it is called as resource files, and on the some other platforms these are called as message database. And as discussed before, the message for the translation need to be sent along with the context in which they are being used, so that they can get the translated better. And multilingual experts may not be having aware of software and their target customers. So that is why it is better that the message do not contain any technology terms. So localization is a very expensive and labor intensive process, and not all the messages that belong to the software need to be translated. So some of the messages could be for the administrators and also developers and may not be for the target users. So such messages need to be translated and also should be executed from the file used for the translation. And while translating, not only the messages but also the resources such as your GUI screens and the bitmaps and also boxes and also icons need to be included for the localization. And as resizing the customization these are needed to be fit into the translated messages. And customization is very important as scrolling direction and read direction are different in some languages. So like in this slide you can see US reads from left to right and Arab countries read from right to left. So what happens if this message is gone into the different countries which are not supposed to? So this shows that the people in the English speaking countries, they understand that the dirty t-shirt on the left hand side, when put it into the washing machine, becomes the clean t-shirt as shown in the diagram from right hand side to left hand side. So this is actually because the conventionally these countries read from left to right. So we also read from left to right, and also English speaking countries like US, UK, they also read from left to right. But if you show the same picture to the Arab countries, they may understand that the clean t-shirt when put it inside the washing machine becomes dirty. So as their reading direction from the right to left, as you can see in the diagram. So hence this customization of the resources is very critical for localization, localization of the software. So not only because the software but also documentation also needs to be localized for the target language and also conventions. So after this L10N, the product becomes truly globally functioning in different languages and also works with the other different global products. So I hope you understood what is localization testing. So now moving on to the ad hoc testing. What does actually ad hoc mean? So it is actually created and done for the particular purpose, and to the purpose which is origin of Latin. So actually ad hoc means you will not have any test plan or test document with you for the testing to be carried out. So you will have a testing with randomness. And issues of planned testing, let us see. So it goes by level of understanding at the time of design. So sometime what happen, you will understand the functionality of the application at the time of design. But in ad hoc, what happens, you randomly go and test without any test cases or without any further details about the testing to be carried out. And validation of the test case happens at the runtime. So sometimes planned testing has this drawback of having the validation of these test cases will happen only in the runtime. And lack of clarity on the requirements impacts the quality. Sometimes you will not have the requirement clarity, so it may impact the quality of the application. And also lack of skill sets may also affect the quality of the test cases. And lack of time for design affects the completeness. Let us see the definition of ad hoc testing. So the testing done without using any formal testing techniques. So as I have told you in the previous slide, you will not have any document or any test case which are to be referred while testing. So you will have a informal testing in ad hoc testing. So with this, product gets tuned to the test cases, and it is not always possible to keep the test cases updated. So sometimes you will forget writing the test case or forget updating the test cases according to the changing functionality of your application. And also updating the test case is considered to be a tedious and also time consuming task. So it is again go back to the test case database and update it there. So sometimes it is a time consuming process. And this is a place ad hoc testing plays its role. So when these things come up, you have a ad hoc testing. So let us see ad hoc testing versus planned testing. So in planned testing, you will have requirement analysis and test planning and test case designing and test execution, and lastly you generate the report of test. And in ad hoc testing, you analyze the existing test cases and you plan for the testing, okay, so which is same in planned and ad hoc testing. And also you plan the test execution, which in planned testing comes in the fourth step, but here it is in the third step. And you generate the test report after the test case execution, and you have the test case design. So after having the random check, you write down that test case into the test case database. And testing done without the using any recognized testing technique. So as we know, you will not have any recognized testing technique for the ad hoc testing. And some of the advantages of ad hoc testing are, you will understand the product better when you explore it without any test cases, which utilizes the time and it adds the value immediately to the product. And changes in the requirements are not communicated immediately, which leads to the uncovered defects. So wherein your ad hoc testing comes into the picture, which helps in finding out these newly developed or not communicated features. And ad hoc testing explores the intuitions and out of the box thinking. So sometimes as you will not have the test cases written, so you will just explore the application randomly. So it will be like out of thinking, test cases will come up with these testing. And it can also be done in testing phase and also for any type of testing. So, and after the planned testing, what happens, newer defects can be found, and before to validate the test cases completeness and also product quality. And it also switches the context of usage to discover more defects like monkey testing. So ad hoc testing is not an unplanned testing, so it actually differs from the planned testing in that the test cases are not documented immediately. Let us see these drawbacks of ad hoc testing. So actually it is difficult to ensure the perspective covered in the ad hoc testing are used in the future. Okay, so possible resolution for this is document the ad hoc testing after the test completion. And large number of defects found in the ad hoc testing. So the possible solution for this is schedule a meeting to discuss and defect impacts and also improve test cases for the planned testing. And lack of comfort on covering the ad hoc testing. And so solution for this is when producing the test report, combine the planned test and ad hoc test. And it is difficult to track the exact steps to be done. So for this you need to write a detailed defect report in the stepwise manner and document the ad hoc testing after the execution. And lack of data for the matrix analysis. So for this you plan the matrix collection for both the planned test cases and ad hoc test cases. So with this we complete the ad hoc testing. So go and watch the videos. If you don't understand, you can reach me out. Thank you all.